Again, I am continuing with the personality theory. Next theory is Gordon-Allport personality traits. That is, Gordon-Allport claims that personality traits are real entities physically located somewhere in the brain. We each inherit our own unique set of raw materials for given traits, which are then shaped by our experience. Trait describes the particular way we respond to the environment and the consistency of that response. If we are shy, we respond to strangers differently than if we are friendly, if we are self confident. Gordon identified two main categories of traits, that are common traits, individual traits, cardinal traits, central traits, and secondary traits. This first one is common traits. Common traits are those we share or hold in common with most others in our own culture. Individual traits, according to Allport, there are three main individual traits, that is cardinal, central, and secondary. Cardinal trait means a cardinal trait is so pervasive and outstanding in a life that almost every act seems traceable to its influence. Central traits includes, according to Allport, are those that we would mention in writing a careful letter of recommendation. Secondary traits are less obvious, less consistent, and not as critical in defining our personality as the cardinal and central traits. Example of secondary traits are food and music preferences. Then Raymond Cattell's 16 personality factors is the next personality theory, and Raymond Cattell considered personality to be a pattern of traits providing the key to understanding and predicting a person's behavior. Cattell identified two types, surface traits and source traits. Surface traits is observable qualities of a person like honest, helpful, kind, generous, etc. Cattell called these surface traits. And source traits are make up the most basic personality structure and, according to Cattell, actually cause behavior. Intelligence is a source trait and every person has a certain amount of it, but obviously not exactly the same amount or the same kind. Next one is self theory. The psychoanalytical type and trait theories represent the more traditional approach to explaining the complex human personality. Self theory rejects both psychoanalytical and behavioralistic conceptions of human nature as too mechanistic, portraying people as creatures helplessly buffeted about by internal instincts or external stimuli. Carl Rogers is most closely associated with his approach of self theory, and Rogers and his associates have developed this personality theory that places emphasis on the individual as an initiating creature, influential determinant of behavior within an environmental framework. According to Rogers, basic ingredients of personality are self-actualization. Carl Rogers believed that humans have one basic motive, that is the tendency to self-actualize, that is to fulfill one's potential and achieve the highest level of human beingness we can. Then next one is self-concept. Self-concept is defined as the organized, consistent set of perceptions and beliefs about oneself. The self-concept includes three components, that is self-worth, self-image, and ideal self. That is, self-worth means what we think about ourselves. Rogers believed feelings of self-worth developed in early childhood and were formed from the interaction of the child with the mother and father. Self-image is how we see ourselves, which is important to good psychological health. Self-image includes the influence of our body image or inner personality. Ideal self means this is the person who we would like to be, and it consists of our goals and ambitions in life and is dynamic, that is forever changing. The ideal self in childhood is not the ideal self in our teens or late 20s. So these are all the types of theories, personality theories that we have observed here today. That is psychoanalytical theory and the ego, superego. Then type theories include psychonomy theory, and next one Carl Jung extrovert introvert theory, and it includes extrovert introvert trait theories. then Gordon Allport personality traits, Raymond Cattell personality factors, self theory.